Hi guys, I'm Angie. Welcome back to my channel. So happy to be here today working on something. So I got a new mold and it's a dragonfly mold. Look how cute those are. There's another one I made. So I wanted to make one with you guys so you can see how I make them. I think they can be worn as charms, like necklace charms. Look at the colors, so beautiful. So I'm going to use my heat gun on this. This is embellished, basically, textured from Little Windows. No, I am not endorsed by Little Windows, but I do use them a lot because I just love the effect they have. So I'm gonna turn my heat gun on. Sorry about the noise. And just get this a little bit more textured than it already is. Just heating it up a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't do it on the blue. I'll do it on here. I don't know, can you guys see that? There we go. Just want to get a little bit of a crinkle effect on it. A little more than it already has. It really brings out the colors that are in each piece of film. I was calling them paper before, but they're really not. They're more of a film. Okay, look at that. Very cool. Okay, so now we're gonna cut that out to the shape that we're gonna use in our mold. I've done 1, 2, 3, which one? No, I haven't done that one. 4. Have I? Yeah, that's that one. So I've done 4 of them so far. So now we're gonna do, I think we're gonna do this one right here. So what I need to do first is trace around the wings. So I just do my best because it's reflective and there's, you know, this light is kind of blinding. So I'll draw this line here. And this is where I'm going to cut. And I'm going to flip it over to put it together so I can get 2 of the same pieces, obviously. So basically we're going to take that, we're going to flip it over. I like to do it pretty much right on the line, that way we're not really wasting too much of our film. And then we just kind of do a rough cut and then we'll fit it in and see how it fits. These are my little cuticle scissors. They work really good for this type of cutting. Better than my regular scissors. Probably because they're curved a little and they can get in smaller spaces and etc., etc. So there we go. So put that aside. Now we've got our wings here. So now I just want to separate them down the middle there. And then we'll trim them as we need to fit into here. Now I can kind of cram them in, but I like them to fit pretty close. Let's put this away. Put it on the other side. Okay, sorry. Okay, so first I want to take this. Can you guys see okay? First I want to take this and use a little bit of my alcohol, just a touch, to get that black permanent marker off of it. And there's none on this side, so that one's fine. Okay, so we're gonna do this one. Like I said, we're gonna do this one. So let's see how that fits. It fits okay, but it is a little off cut. So what we're gonna do is make this one, well, maybe it goes like this. Let's try it like this, just to make sure that that's, oh, maybe that is how it goes. But we need to trim down one of these, by the way, anyway, so let's trim this one just a skosh. And then see how that fits. Yeah, that's better. That's good. That's good for that one. Now I should be able to use that on either side, but the other one is going to need just a trim too. Oh, guess I didn't get all my black line off. There we go. I think I got it now. There we go. Let's put that aside. I guess the bigger part is on the bottom. So this one being the same, the bigger part is on the bottom. We're going to cut that like that, and then maybe just cut it like this into the middle there. And then let's see how that, maybe that's not, okay. Fits better that way. You want it to fit pretty close to where you need it to go, because if you don't, then it's going to crinkle up and cause all kinds of problems. So what we're going to do is we're just going to trim just a hair off of this edge here. And just a smidgen in the middle there. Well, did we get any off or didn't we? Let's see. Okay, that's pretty darn close. If it rolls up the sides, you know what, that's a little bit, that's okay. I don't mind that a bit because it ends up being really cool actually. Okay, so I did make this one blue. I added a little bit of black to this. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more black glitter to it just so it's a little bit darker. Have you guys seen those blue dragonflies? They're flying around. They're just so pretty. I just love the blue color, and I just made a mess on my thingamabobber here. So we'll just clean that up real, clean that up real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm a mess sometimes. So, okay. So I like to start with the body first. That way when I do each of the wings, I can do them separately and it doesn't all run from side to side. So I just kind of start with the body first. Then I want to cure that really fast before it moves, because sometimes it does move to the side. I'm going to make a little bit of black for the head and the antenna, so we can do that separate. Just because I've seen most dragonflies' heads are just plain black, so I don't think they usually have much color in them. Their bodies, that's different. Yeah, they usually have some color in their bodies, but okay. We'll let that cure for just another few more seconds. Now, this mold that I got off of Amazon is really meant to make keychains. These are supposed to be keychains. I think they're a little small for keychains, and I really would like to use them as necklace charms. I'm just not sure if people or if y'all would think, do you think they're too big? Is that too big for a necklace charm? Would you wear that? I mean, I would. I think they're gorgeous. I think they're really gorgeous, really pretty and unique and shimmery. I would wear it. Let's do the head here real quick. I think that's enough black. Just kind of drip it in there. Make sure it goes where it's supposed to go, because if you leave gaps, then that's bubbles, and then it's harder to get it right once it's already, you know, once you're done. So I use my little cuticle scissors here for that too. Just kind of making sure it's down in there. If there's any bubbles down there, I'm kind of popping them. I know it doesn't look real pretty now, but we're gonna cure that. And then I'm gonna add another layer to that probably before I do the wings, just because I want it to look a certain way before I get the wings going. But this is a relatively easy, fast, really pretty, I mean really, really pretty project for anybody. Really relatively simple. I mean, the hardest part is cutting out the cellophane, you know, or the little windows pieces. That's the hardest part, you know, and getting the resin to stay in one place while you let it dry, or let it cure, I should say. I mean, I don't have to do this part right now, but I like to get it done. That way it's ready to roll. I'll probably do another little bit of the blue there, and then I'm gonna start working on the wings. And they go relatively fast as well once you get them cut out, and you'll see in just a minute. Put a little more blue here as well. Just kind of layer it. That way part of it's already there, and it's, you know, so the rest of it kind of sticks to it so that it's not traveling. I don't like it to travel too far to one side or the other, and here we are traveling. Okay, no traveling. No traveling allowed. I do use these tweezers a lot. Very pointy. I use them a lot in my projects. I use them for popping bubbles, for bringing bubbles to the surface. These have very fine little lines in them, in the actual silicone, so I have to make sure that I get all the bubbles out of those lines. So I do like to use my tweezers for that too, once I put the first clear coat on, which I'm about to show you doing that. Okay, that looks all right. Let's turn that off for a second there. I don't like this piece over here. Well, I guess it'll be all right. Okay, so let's get our resin here. Let's do this side first. So we're just gonna put like a layer, totally cover this part here. Now some of the bubbles will come to the top on their own, some will not, some will just hang out where they are. I see lots of little bubbles. There's some in these little lines. I try and just scratch through them, and some of them will come up, some of them will just move. See how some of them are just moving around? I love these little designs in the bottom of these wings, and that I consider to be the front of the piece. So I like for those lines to be prominent and to show. So I like to not have any bubbles, because you know the bubbles kind of ruin where the resin is going. They kind of block the resin from being there, and then they show up as either a bubble or a missing spot where the resin is supposed to be. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I try to get these as close to bubble free as I can. I'm trying to dig these bubbles out. If I can just get them to come to the top, some of them are challenging, then I can usually pop them with my, I really should be using more of a torch, not a torch, like a barbecue lighter or whatever, but I haven't got one yet. I've tried using matches and I've actually scorched my silicone doing that. So no matches. They're too hard to use anyway. They burn fast and I don't want to burn my fingers either. Okay, I think that one's good enough. So we're gonna go ahead and stick this in there. That would be my daughter playing her game. I don't know what she's playing, but she has one of those microphone, headphone things, and she plays with her friends, and I don't know, does everybody yell like that? I don't know if that's normal, but whatever. Okay, once I get that all put down, I can't see if there's any bubbles under it, so I get my other torch here, and I hold it under it and look. I see no bubbles, unless that's a bubble, I can't tell. I don't think so. I think that's just where this, it doesn't have any of this at the top. I find if I put it down and then I sink it, then it usually is pretty good with no bubbles. Okay, that looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and cure that. Can you guys see that? Look how pretty that is. Let's go ahead and cure that. And then we're gonna do the same to the other side. And I'm out of coffee. I know it's a little late to be drinking coffee. That was my 4:30 coffee. I think I've warmed it up 2 or 3 times. But I get busy and and it gets pushed to the side because I'm busy. Coffee drinkers understand. But my next drink is going to be some chamomile tea. I usually drink a cup of chamomile tea every night. And then I drink some magnesium water that I make. And then I sleep like a baby. I sleep so much better since I'm not drinking. I haven't been drinking, I don't know, it's been maybe 11 days. Since not this past Monday, the Monday before. So I'm just, I go through phases where I drink every day. I'm not alcoholic type, just, you know, when all my stuff is done, I like to make a drink and just chill and work on my art and that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not an angry drinker. I'm not a sad drinker. I'm just, you know, I just enjoy drinking. But there's times when I just don't feel like drinking. So I go through phases, you know, where I want to quit, you know, I don't want to drink anymore, blah, blah, blah. And then there's times where, you know, I just want to drink. So we're in the I don't want to drink right now phase because I'm trying to create a new me with my art, with my life, with, you know, obviously I'm still taking care of my dad. He's over there in his chair, probably wondering why the TV is not making any noise because I muted it so I could make my video without a bunch of Wheel of Fortune noise and stuff, you understand. But he sleeps most of the day anyway, probably at least 18 hours a day, at least, you know. He eats 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner. I have to feed him every single bite at this point. He's 86. I've considered doing, you know, videos about me taking care of him because he does have dementia and doesn't talk much at all anymore, and when he does, it's usually confused conversation most of the time. But we just do our best because we don't want him in a nursing home, that's for sure, because we know what they do to people. I've worked at a nursing home before. Well, I worked at a rehab facility in Largo. It was probably one of the best, worst experiences of my life. I mean, the job itself, I don't know. It had its good points and bad points. I loved the patients, loved most of the patients. And then some of them, you know, were okay. Some of them were extreme amounts of work. Some were just pleasant to be around, and I really loved them and loved seeing them every day. And then, you know, some of the nurses didn't help, and, you know, they thought they were just too good for passing out meals or doing blood sugars or helping, you know, the CNAs get people up and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, which is typical for just about every healthcare facility. The nurses don't. They think because they went to school for 4 years to get their RN, that omits them from having to actually do patient care, but it really doesn't. I mean, it's all about the patient. It should be all about the patient, not all about, you know, I'm too good for that or whatever. Anyway, so that's kind of where I got all my hands-on experiences working with people that had hip replacements and knee replacements and had strokes and all kinds of stuff, car accidents, things that they had cancer, had treatments, you know, just that kind of stuff. And they needed to rehab for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they could go back to their lives. Some were ready, some were not. And sadly, that's just how it goes. It's not all about whether you're ready and whether you're doing good or not. It's about what your insurance will cover. If your insurance won't cover you longer than 2 weeks, then you got 2 weeks. If your insurance says you only got 10 days, you only got 10 days. It's really a ridiculous system we have. I mean, some of those people definitely weren't ready to go home. They either had to go to another rehab or, you know, I mean, they just, I don't know. It's sad. It's really sad what this country has done to our sick care system, because it's not health care, that's for darn sure. It's sick care, because it just makes people sicker and sicker. You know, it doesn't really, they put you on medications, and then that medication has side effects, and then they give you another pill, the doctor gives you another pill for those side effects, and then that pill gives you side effects, and then he gives you another pill for those side effects, and next thing you know, you're on 15 different pills and getting sicker and sicker. And I mean, how do people even function like that? I don't even understand it. I don't take a single medication. My doctor tried to put me at the VA, tried to put me on hydrochlorothiazide one time, water pill basically for blood pressure. When blood pressure is, you know, something wrong with your blood pressure means that, you know, if your blood pressure is high, that's secondary to something else being wrong in your body. So you got to figure out what that is. You don't just throw a pill at it. It made me feel like I was run over by a Mack truck the first pill I took. So I can tell you that would not continue. So I found all natural ways to heal my blood pressure. And, you know, I don't even check it anymore, because who actually made the blood pressure numbers up? Well, probably the pharmaceutical industry. So who knows if that's even accurate in telling you if you have health issues. So I don't bother with any of that anymore. I feel great. I exercise, you know, I'm losing weight, I fast. I try to eat good. I don't always. I eat cookies, I eat whatever, you know, I still have my coffee. I have tea. I don't know. To each his own, but some things are not what they seem. And I've seen through the veil. I've seen through it. I know it's good for me. I know it works for me. What do you think? That looks pretty cool so far. We're almost done. We're gonna cure the back for a minute, 60 seconds, and we're gonna do some more of we're gonna mix some more of this body here, this body blue body blue, and then we're gonna put another coat of clear on, and then we're gonna be done. We're gonna pop it out, and we're gonna see what it fantastic looks like. See how fantastic it looks. How about that? I'm excited. Are you guys excited? I'm really excited. Now, when I made my first one, this was my first one yesterday, I asked my daughter, you know, should I put black around the edges? And she said, well, they don't usually have black around the edges, do they? And I said, well, I don't think so. I think it looks good just like that. It makes it look more authentic without the black around it. Although I'd like to maybe do one and just put black on this part, just to see how it would look on this part. Am I showing you? On this part, just to see all the way around, just to see how it would look, you know? All right, so let's do our blue. We're almost done. I'm gonna finish this part up here. Another line of blue. Maybe up here too. Hey, we're traveling. I don't like traveling. Earth. Let's go ahead and cure that really quick, because I don't like when it travels where it's not supposed to go. And it's not supposed to go this far over. Why does it keep coming to this side? Anyway, we're just gonna throw clear over that. Just cleaning one of my pokers here. You just kind of spray it with alcohol and it cleans off whatever resin is on it. Yes, my area is a mess. You should see how many charms I have. I've even made some, that's army. I've even made some like military type. I made a heart one too with a different star, but just a couple. I found some cool paper that's actually like cardstock that I just cut out to the shape and put it in resin. So is this one. This is cardstock too, but I think it was like more of a plasticky type. But it was pretty, so. And then I think I did a rose one. Nope, the rose one's over here. I think I already showed you this one though. Oh, okay, we're done with that, curing that one. All right, let's move this over here. Let's get this part going. And we're almost done. This is the last bit. These kind of take a lot of resin because they're kind of thick, which is fine, but just be prepared for that part. All right, I'm just looking for bubbles. I think we got it all. So let's cure that. We're gonna cure that for 150 seconds. I know that's kind of a long time, but once that's done curing, then we're gonna pop it out and you guys can see how beautiful it is compared to some of our other ones. Like, oh, they're so pretty, so pretty. I want more coffee, but it's late for coffee. Yeah, I don't want to be up all night either. I've been sleeping really good. I think I said that already. Meditating at night, like before I go to sleep. I've been doing a Joe Dispenza meditation. Blessing of the Energy Centers, Botec, B-O-T-E-C. He's got a really, really good one. It's 43 minutes on several different platforms. But I really like that one. I listen to that one and I talk about the parts of my body I want to heal. And it's very inspirational for me. And sometimes it makes me cry because I'm healing parts of me that I didn't even realize needed healing sometimes. Do you guys do that? You guys get that way where you're, I don't know, you just get emotional and you just feel like having a good cry. I think it's really, really good for you to get in touch with your emotions and to let them flow and work through them and move forward. That's my dad coughing. He likes to sleep while he's eating. While I'm feeding him, he falls asleep in between the bites. And I think he's choking on his food because the nurses have listened to his lungs and they say his lungs sound clear. But every time I give him a bite of food, he puts his head down and falls asleep with food in his mouth. I can't keep him awake no matter how many times I've tried to tell him, stay awake while you're eating. That's like, I say it 50, 100 times a day. But I'm doing the best I can. That's all I can do. This is almost done. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good. I'm excited. We might cure the backside one more time too, just to make sure that it's solid before we pop it out. But what do you guys think? Would you wear this? Or would you want it as a keychain? I think it's too small to be a keychain. Maybe just a hair too big to be a necklace charm, but I don't know. They're still really cool. It's warm to the touch because of the UV light. We're gonna flip it over. And I'm gonna cure this just for 60 seconds and then we'll go pop it out. Just because. La-dee-da-da. No, I can't sing. I mean, I can, sort of. I sing to songs in the car. Sometimes pretty loud. Depends on the song and depends on my mood. Because if I'm in a good mood, I'm singing at the top of my lungs. And a good song comes on, oh boy, let me tell you. I'm singing at the top of my lungs and I don't care who sees me, who hears me. I'll put the windows down and sing. Just for fun, just because. Does anybody else do that? Anybody else sing really loud, like you don't care who's watching? Just because you're in the moment and you're enjoying yourself and having fun, and it feels good to just be yourself. Be in the moment and be yourself. All right. It's still hot. But here we go. Some little extraneous pieces here, but that's okay. Whoa, look at that. That is so pretty. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love it. Love, love, love. Sometimes the stuff goes around the edges, which, hi Wishbone. Hi buddy. Can you guys see Wishbone over here? Can you see his little nose? I'll show you. Here he is. Say hi, Wishbone. Hi. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. Anyway, so this came out really, really cool. I love it. I hope you guys like it. I hope you enjoyed watching. This one's a little shorter than the last one. Last one's a little more technical, but that's okay. I enjoyed it. Had lots of fun. This is one I made. It's got like bluish in it and gold. It's really cool. Anyway, I love you guys. I missed you and I'm happy to see you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up for me, please, so it gets around to more people. And if you stayed for this whole time and you like my videos, subscribe and be a member. not a member, but be part of the group, part of the YouTube family. I would love it. I interact with everybody. I love everybody. I'm happy you're here. Thank you so much. I'm gonna start doing more Wishbone too, I think, just because he's so adorable. He's such a good boy. And thanks for watching, and I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.